During a recent talk I gave at the Monday Morning Motivation community, a participant asked a question that really stuck with me. How would you help someone who has never worked and probably still in school to identify their skills and even get to improve them, as well as adapted in this world? That's such a powerful question because let's be honest, so many students graduate without really knowing what they're good at or how to apply what they have learned in the real world. In fact, we know that 85% of the jobs people will be doing in 2030 probably or haven't been created yet. So the question isn't just about how to find a good job, but it's about how to prepare, adapt, and grow before you ever step into the workforce. That's what this episode is all about. How students can future-proof their careers before they even start. We are living in a time that, we're living in a time of constant change. AI, automation, climate shifts are happening, globalization is happening at the same time. Now, all these forces together, they are reshaping how we work faster than even ever before, than what has happened before. And 85% of jobs, we're saying, of 2030 jobs have not been created yet. That means actually adaptability is important than memorization. This is the superpower that we really need to have. In college or university years, I tend to see them as the low-risk laboratory. It's one of those few times in life where we can experiment, fail, try again, even without catastrophic consequences. And in these college or university years, you can join clubs, you can test startups, you can volunteer, you can do internship, you can do apprenticeship like I've done. And this is where you practice your muscles of adaptability. Now, looking back my college or university career or university years, they are not just about civil and transportation engineering. They are about learning how to adapt, transition into entrepreneurship, trade, and even research and technology. The degrees are just part of the journey, right? But the experiments outside the class, these are the ones that are shaping me. These are the ones that are making me, let's say, future ready. These are the ones preparing me for the future that is coming soon. So I think that, if you want to identify your skills early as a student, there are some ways that you can do. I may start with some, let's say, reflection tools as a student. How can you reflect on what you're good at or what you should be improving on and all that? I want you to ask yourself, just ask yourself what comes naturally. Ask yourself what comes naturally. What do people ask me for help with? And now the second thing you do is observe. Which tasks energize you versus which tasks drain you? Try to observe which tasks take away most of your energy and which ones are, they tend to, energize you when you're doing them. And then feedback, on the feedback aspect is, I want you to talk to your friends, classmates, mentors, because these people can often see those strengths before you do. Try to ask questions from these people. How now do we build against skills? I want you to do a practical lab for skill building with me, to create a practical lab for skill building with me. First, join university clubs. There's leadership, event planning, fundraising, any club that is relevant to, you can try them. Try the university clubs. And then try volunteering as well. Because this volunteering will teach us service, communication, teamwork, when you are able to volunteer for certain causes. And then try to begin part-time projects, freelancing, student businesses, or tutoring. This will create a certain skill of managing or of planning or of execution and all that. And then try to also join hackathons or competition. Now, I know in universities we have a real-world simulation in short bursts. We have many competitions, or you will hear a competition on e-commerce, you will hear a competition in business planning and all that. Try to join this. If you're in IT, then probably there's hackathons and all that. And what you do is journal about weekly activities. Try to write down how your weekly activities are, and then try to do skill mapping exercises where you can get free online templates online. You can get free templates online for this, and then ask professors or supervisors for feedback letters on certain projects that you embark on. Let the professors or supervisors write for you some feedback letters on this. Because when I'm looking back at how my study years, my early study, I realized that curiosity wasn't just in building bridges, it is about building systems and communities, right? And all that realization didn't come from class, but from the project I just said yes to on the side. Anything that my mind told me to do, when I tried to do it, that's when I began to discover. I'm beginning even more. Every day I'm still discovering my superpowers or the things that I am good at. And I think that's the essence of, this experimental years that we have in university always is to try. Now, let's try to build adaptability and the experience in just a few minutes. I want you to learn adjacent skills. Don't just stay locked in your silo. If you're in engineering, pick up finance. If you're in marketing, pick up coding basics. These side skills all together will make you adaptable in the field. And then the other thing is, I want you to try to do maybe internship and side hustles. Because work experience, even if short-term or unpaid, it will teach you about industries faster than theory. And if you're aiming to be employed, then it can be part of your resume as to which projects did you do or did you accomplish and all that. It can be listed down. And then try to also procure or try to do online certifications, Just online learning is one of the easiest thing. We have free tools like Allison, Coursera, Udemy, LinkedIn Learning. All of these platforms, you can use them to fill gaps. Now, Allison, I said Allison the first because that's what I use. And for me, it wasn't just enough to study engineering. I began exploring trade through OC cross-border services, and then I've started to experiment with entrepreneurship via the Scout Path hub that I'm building. And then all of this leap, and even doing courses on Allison and later just paying for the certificate, that leap it's not happening after graduation. It has started all these years within my university degrees. And that's the value of, treating school as a preparatory ground, not just a waiting room. You need to treat these years as the moment that you have to be able to put yourself ahead of the in the field or in the coming age. And then now, how do you spot opportunities around you? This is a very cool question. Cool question. Because the first thing that you can do to spot opportunities around you is train yourself to see unmet needs. If students on campus are struggling with finding, let's say, study resources, you can try to create a platform. If your city lacks affordable delivery service, you can test a mini model like how I love to do. And then don't wait for the perfect opportunity also. Try to experiment small. Perfect skills will kill progress, but perfection will always kill progress. But if you try small things, then you'll eventually learn. Because my own project started as small testing grounds, like an outdoor idea gear where I just wanted, to wear things that I designed by myself and all that. A small logistics experiment, that's what yielded to smart parcel services. But each of them, they are just training grounds. Each mistake will teach me the knowledge for the next chapter. Because let's say when my smart parcel services didn't go as planned, I paused it. And I use that knowledge from there about, the ways to pick a co-founder, to run, why you have to be present, let's say, in your business. And I changed that, and I began my OC outdoor products. And later it started as FitPal into gym, and later on it became OC. And I think the experiments are teaching me enough. And this week I just want to challenge every student listening to try and do two things. One is write down your skill, what you want to test or what you want to grow this semester. Not 10, not 20, just one. Try to pick one skill that you want to grow. And then the second thing is identify a problem in your community, campus, or even the city that you think you could contribute towards solving. And this can be either by asking just simple questions or observation, because most of the things that I try to do is by me being able to observe the environment or even creating questionnaires and all that. It doesn't matter if it's big or small. The point is to start using these years as preparation ground, not just as a classroom, not just as you memorizing stuff and getting good grades, but rather a preparation ground where you're able to, equip yourself for the years to come and all that. So this week, try these two things: pick one skill and then try to spot a problem in your environment, the immediate problem, and see how can you solve it, or how can you which idea can you propose on solving that. And it can become a project, and it can become at the end a part of your CV. So yep, that's it for this episode. And this episode was inspired actually by a powerful question asked at my Monday morning motivation session. And to everyone in that community, I just want to still say thank you for shaping today's conversation. The person especially who asked the question, thank you for shaping today's conversation. If this episode has encouraged you in some sort, you who is watching or listening, I like to call people who are listening to the self-seeders. So you, a self-seeder, if this episode inspired you, especially you can share it with a student or a young professional, who needs to hear it, who that they need to hear it. Until next Tuesday, keep growing, keep experimenting, and keep planting the seeds of the future. And continue to do that. Don't forget to subscribe to the SelfSeed, by the way. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast. Then, until next Tuesday, see you.